Hey everyone, happy uh, Wednesday evening. It is past 6 o'clock here, so I'm allowed to not have a coffee. Uh, I hadn't planned on hopping on, but I got this unexpected phone call today. And let me give you a little background first before I tell you about that. Uh, a few years ago, when I first moved from my college town into the DC area, my first job was with um, a quasi-governmental organization. I was doing sort of compliance verification work for them, and it was a hostile place to work. It was not. It was not fun. There was sort of this weird, constant threat that I was going to be fired, and everyone was critical of my work, and I was just there doing my best, you know, even going out of my way to try and be more effective, try and be more efficient. And my energy wasn't welcome there. And so I had this really not good experience. Um, but today, out of the blue, my coworker from that job, who happens to he was my anchor at that job. He was this older gentleman who um, more or less taught me a whole bunch while I was there about coding and about data management, and he told me endless stories all the while. Right, we walked to lunch together, we would spend time together. Um, he made that space way more pleasant than it needed to be. And when I got a call from him, he was trying to call someone completely different and accidentally called me, but just gave us an excuse to catch up a little bit. And of course, it was very pleasant. And that jogged my memory about this work experience I had had so many years ago, and how hard it was, how difficult it was. Um, and it's a strange kind of framing to be reminded of such a negative experience by such a positive relationship. Uh, and it got me thinking, there are skills I picked up in that job that to up until today have probably saved me tons and tons of grief, and skills that have made me capable of successfully landing subsequent jobs and doing well in those spaces. Um, and for me, that was an encouragement that even though sometimes work is hard, and sometimes a workplace is a hard space to be in, there still might be little things gained in that experience that we need going forward. So if you resonate with that experience, I know a lot of folks have had this kind of experience. I hope that my reminding you is an encouragement. I hope that if you're in a workplace that is really difficult or even hostile, that it's not too bad and that you won't be there very long. And I hope that once you are out of it, you will, after a while, be able to look back and remember some people that mattered, and remember some things that you learned that made a positive impact on your life. All of that comes around to what I'm doing now, uh, professionally, which is designing strategies for positive organizational culture, and doing that using all the background I've gained over these years, and doing it in large part because of those experiences. I had enough of a taste, just enough of a taste in my career of hostile spaces. and depressing spaces and depressed people, that I see the value and I feel the value in working on corporate culture and trying to make it better, trying to make the workspace better. And a positive workspace, I believe, should be mundane. It should not be special. You don't need to be a Google. You don't need to be a Zappos. You don't need to be a Longerburger Baskets. You don't need to be fill in the blank. You don't need to be an extraordinary dynamic organization with an excessively unique culture to be a good place to work. And I don't believe that we should be striving for that type of unique. I believe we should be striving for mundane, boring, great culture. And so that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm trying to pursue through corporate culture. And more specifically, right now, I'm working on something called Operations Empathy. And we're all familiar with interpersonal empathy and what that looks like, but that behavior can be related to the workforce and the workplace connecting in a healthy way. So that's what I'm working on. If you've stuck around this long and you've had some encouragement from my story, I'd like to invite you to consider filling out a survey. I will post the link in the description to the video. It's an operations empathy, or it's an empathy in the workplace survey, and I'm building that off of a specific framework. So with that data, I'm going to be able to understand with pretty broad strokes which design elements of an organization are struggling the most, right? And where are therefore people struggling the most. I'd like to figure that out so I can target the issues and work on them more effectively. If you take that survey, or if you're just interested in this subject of operations empathy, I'm also hosting a webinar at the top of next month on the 2nd. It is an interactive webinar. We're using the exchange approach to get engaged with each other, right? We're trying to connect during these calls so we can share in the group wisdom. The folks who attend my webinars are HR professionals and nonprofit professionals and operations professionals who know a hell of a lot more than I do about their sectors and their organizations. So I need to hear their experiences. So the exchange method enables us to create some safety in the discussion and create some sharing. But I will go over the results so far of my survey in that webinar. So look for that link in the description as well for registering to be in the May 2nd session. That concludes what I wanted to cover for this short stream. I hope that you stuck around, and if you would like to chat, I would love to hear from you. And if you've had any similar experiences where the workspace was hostile, but you gained something important from the experience, right? So knowing there is a brighter future after the struggle. I'd love to hear your experiences, your stories. You can do that in the chat, in the comments, right? You can call me. You can schedule some time. You can come to the webinar and share there. Anyway, I wish all of you a pleasant Wednesday evening, and cheers.